A very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News. Glad you could join us this Saturday morning. I'm Tracy Shilshi and here are the headlines of this hour. Union Cabinet approves draft law to make practice of giving instant triple talaq illegal. Muslim women protection of rights on marriage bill will be applicable on instant triple talaq or talaq-e-biddat. Centre's bid to boost digital payments. Merchant discount rate on debit card transactions up to 2,000 rupees waived off. Government to reimburse banks for a period of 2 years. Rahul Gandhi to take charge as the Congress president. New party president after 19 years. He was elected unopposed for the post. And knockout stage of the Dubai Super Series finals for PV Sindhu takes on world number 8 Chen Yufei of China in the semi-final today. Our top story, the Union Cabinet on Friday cleared a bill that proposes to make instant triple talaq a criminal offence. The government is hoping to get Parliament clearance for it during the winter session itself. The draft of the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill was considered by the Union Cabinet. The bill attracts jail term of 3 years for the husband. Under the draft law, triple talaq in any form, spoken, in written or by electronic means such as email, SMS and WhatsApp, would be illegal and void. Home Minister Rajnath Singh had led the group of ministers to draft the bill. In a landmark ruling in August, the Supreme Court had said that the practice of Muslim men giving talaq 3 times for an instant divorce is unconstitutional. The proposed law will be applicable only on instant triple talaq or talaq-e-biddat and will give power to the victim to approach a magistrate seeking subsistence allowance for herself and her minor children.
Many state governments have supported it. मैं आपसे इतना ही कह सकता हूं कि इस बिल के डिटेल स्ट्रेटजी के बारे में यहां मैं कुछ नहीं कह सकता, सिवाय इतना कहने के कि ये बिल देश की मुस्लिम समाज की महिलाओं के सम्मान और सुरक्षा के लिए है।
जब हम लोगों को परेशानी हो गई तब सुप्रीम कोर्ट में हम लोग गए और हमारे सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने हम लोगों को लाइट ऑफ कुरान में फैसला दिया और ये निर्देश भी दिया कि सरकार इस पे कानून बनाए। तो अब सरकार ने इसको फॉलो किया है, मैं इसको धन्यवाद देती हूँ।
And reacting to the development, the Congress said that it would support the bill only if it was within the Supreme Court's verdict.
आप जो अगर बिल के रूप में जब वो लाएंगे तो उसको स्टैंडिंग कमेटी को भेजना पड़ेगा। स्टैंडिंग कमेटी में जाने के बाद उसके बाद विपक्ष तय करेगा कि उसमें देखेगा कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के निर्णय के हिसाब से प्रावधान है कि नहीं, संविधान के हिसाब से प्रावधान है कि नहीं, उस हिसाब से रणनीति तय की जाएगी।
Also, in an effort to boost digital payment, the Union Cabinet on Friday decided to waive the merchant discount rate applicable on all debit cards, Bheem UPI and transactions up to 2,000 rupees. The government will reimburse the same to the banks for a period of 2 years starting January 1st, 2018. As a result of this approval, for all transactions less than 2,000 rupees in value, the consumer and the merchant will not suffer any additional burden in the form of MDR. MDR is the rate charged to a merchant by a bank for providing debit and credit card services when payment is made at a merchant point of sale.
To accelerate digital payments in the country, the MDR charges upon transactions worth 2,000 rupees, 2,000. MDR means merchant discount rate, shall now be reimbursed by the government to the merchants and the banks. आपको मैं बता दूं कि अभी तक क्या था कि आपको बैंक को डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शन में MDR देना पड़ता है। उसका एक प्रेस्क्राइब रेट है जो समय समय से रिजर्व बैंक तय करता है। तो कई बार इसको लेकर दिक्कत आया करती थी कि लोग कैश की ओर अधिक झुका करते थे।
Now, among the other decisions that the Cabinet approved are an amendment to the Negotiable Instrument Act that will allow a court to order for payment of an interim compensation to those whose checks have bounced due to dishonouring parties. The amendment is likely to be introduced in the ongoing winter session of Parliament. Also, the approval has been given for continuation of centrally sponsored scheme of National Ayush Mission, the NAM, from April 2017 to March 2020. The NAM is being implemented by the central government to provide cost-effective Ayush services. Also, an approval of 2,600 crore rupees special package has been given for leather and footwear sector. The centre hopes to generate 3.24 lakh jobs in 3 years through this. In other news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting Mizoram and Meghalaya today. He will address public rallies and inaugurate developmental projects. The Prime Minister is scheduled to address a public meeting and inaugurate a hydroelectric project in Aizawl, the capital of Mizoram, before heading to Shillong later in the day. Mizoram will be the third power surplus state in northeast India after Sikkim and Tripura after this project. In pole-bound Meghalaya, the Prime Minister will address a rally, announce the opening of a party office and unveil a plaque for the Shillong-Tura National Highway. Election for the 60-member assembly is scheduled to be held in Meghalaya early next year, but the dates aren't announced as yet. Now, the winter session of Parliament commenced on Friday. However, the day was marked with multiple adjournments in Rajya Sabha as opposition protests continued. Both question hour and zero hour had to be adjourned.
On the first day of the winter session in Rajya Sabha, only official business could be conducted till lunch break due to disruptions. The chairman also announced his order disqualifying Sharad Yadav and Ali Anwar Ansari from the Rajya Sabha.
It was crystal clear that by their conduct and actions, speeches, both the respondents, Sri Sharad Yadavji and Sri Ali Ansari, has voluntarily given up their membership of the political party JDU, by which they were set up as candidates for the election to the Rajya Sabha from the state of Bihar and elected as such members.
The opposition immediately protested against the disqualifications.
नीतीश कुमार जी और उनके साथी जितने गए हैं वो महागठबंधन के नाम पे चुने हैं। आपको रिजाइन करना चाहिए। और मिस्टर यादव महागठबंधन का हिस्सा है, वो महागठबंधन के नाम पे चुने हैं, उसकी सदस्यता रद्द नहीं की जा सकती। सदस्यता आपकी रद्द की जानी चाहिए।
मैं जानना चाहता हूँ, जो आपने रूलिंग दी, जिसको आपने नोटिफिकेशन में जारी कर दिया, वो रूलिंग एज वाइस प्रेसिडेंट दी, as the chairman di ya as the court di?
Chairman Naidu made it clear that the issue was not open for debate. He also asked the members to discuss the damage caused by the cyclone Oki instead.
This is a very important issue concerning the lives and properties of the people of Kerala, Coast and also Tamil Nadu. Please allow him to make his submission.
The disruptions led to the adjournment of 0 hour. When the House reassembled for question hour, Congress members began protesting against Prime Minister Narendra Modi's remarks against his predecessor, Dr. Manmohan Singh, after Leader of Opposition Ghulam Nabi Azad raised the issue. Ghulam Nabi Azad also demanded a discussion on the issue, but his demand was turned down by the chair.
Leader of the opposition को मैंने अनुमति दिया, विषय मेरा ध्यान में लाने के लिए उन्होंने लाया और मैंने अध्ययन किया पहले ही और डिसाइड किया उसको ये 267 के अंतर्गत क्वेश्चन और सस्पेंशन का अनुमति नहीं दिया.
In the face of relentless opposition protests, the House was adjourned once again till 2:30 p.m.
The House is adjourned to meet at 2:30 p.m. because non-official day members will have an opportunity to have discussion on those issues.
Earlier in the day, Rajya Sabha Chairman Venkaiah Naidu started the proceedings with obituary references to 9 former members of the Rajya Sabha and former Air Marshal Arjun Singh. The Prime Minister also introduced the new members of his cabinet to the House. With Panchanan Mishra, Bureau Report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And in the post-lunch session on Friday, the opposition insisted on an apology from the Prime Minister, leading to uproar and adjournment of the House. The opposition leaders were protesting the Prime Minister's remarks made during the Gujarat campaign.
When the House met again in the afternoon, Samajwadi Party MP Naresh Agrawal raised objections over the affidavit filed by the government. In its affidavit submitted to the Supreme Court, the government has talked about setting up special courts to decide cases involving politicians as accused.
मेरी तो कहना है, श्रीमान पूरे देश में मैसेज किया कि हम लोग अपराधी हैं, एमपी एमएलए के लिए विशेष अदालत गठित की जा रही है, आतंकवादी 7-7 साल 10-10 साल जेलों में दामाद की तरह पाले जाते हैं, उनके लिए नहीं अदालत है.
अब सुनिए, Article 13 and Article 14, sir. This is force in the territory of India. This is Article 13 and 14 is equality before law. The state shall not deny to any person equality before the law or the equal protection of the laws within the territory of India. Now, this is the basic structure of the Indian Constitution.
Sir, this is, can the government go against the basic...
So what is the point of order? Yes, what is the point of order? Tell me
why this government has sent this, taken this position.
Sir,
he's right in raising this.
Several private members' bills were also introduced during the post-lunch session.
Those even please say no. I think the ayes have introduced.
The opposition once again protested the Prime Minister's remarks made during campaigning in Gujarat. Following this, the House was adjourned first for a while, then till Monday, December 18th.
House stands adjourned till 11 hours on 18th December 2017.
With inputs from Navikram Singh, Bureau Report for Rajya Sabha TV.
A Rajya Sabha appointed panel has given a clean chit to Justice S.K. Ganguly, the sitting judge of the Madhya Pradesh High Court, in a case of sexual assault. The charges were levelled by a former additional district of Sessions judge of Gwalior. The report of the committee constituted under the Judges Inquiry Act 1968 was tabled in Rajya Sabha on Friday. The report said that 4 instances of sexual harassment alleged by the complainant are not proved beyond reasonable doubt. The panel also found no basis in the charge that Justice Ganguly misused his position to use the lower judiciary to harass the complainant. However, on the issue of her transfer from Gwalior to Siddhi, the panel said that the transfer was punitive in its view. The panel, comprising Supreme Court Judge R. Bhanumurthy, Justice Manjula Chellur and Jurist K.K. Venugopal, was set up in April 2015 by then Rajya Sabha Chairman Muhammad Hamid Ansari. This after admitting a motion supported by 58 members to impeach Justice S.K. Ganguly. The Delhi High Court on Friday refused to grant interim stay on the disqualification of rebel JDU leader Sharad Yadav as a Rajya Sabha member. The court, however, allowed Yadav to draw allowances, perks and retain his bungalow as an MP, but restrained him from attending the winter session of Parliament. The session, which started on Friday, is scheduled to go on till the 5th of January. The court also sought the response of the Rajya Sabha chairman, besides member Ram Chandra Prasad Singh, who is leader of the JDU in the upper house, on Yadav's plea, challenging the December 4th order of the chairman disqualifying him as an MP. The court has fixed the main petition for hearing on the 1st of March next year. The interim order came on Yadav's plea, challenging his disqualification. Sharad Yadav and Ali Anwar Ansari were disqualified as members of the Rajya Sabha on the 4th of December. A quick break here. We'll be back with more national and international stories in just a bit.
Rabindranath Tagore was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for his book Gitanjali. In 1950, he composed the music and lyrics for India's national anthem, Jana Gana Mana. And when Bangladesh became independent in 1971, they chose Tagore's song, Amar Shonar Bangla, as its national anthem. Tagore's life and works have made him a cultural icon, studied the world over, even into the 21st century.
I am Raj Paroda. I am going to talk to you about challenges before Indian agriculture, how successfully we can meet them through scientific initiatives and efforts. Please watch Eureka.
Enter the majestic forecourt of Rashtrapati Bhavan and you'll come across the Jaipur column. A gift to the Viceroy from Savai Madho Singh, the Maharaja of Jaipur, to commemorate the creation of the new capital. The 145-meter high column is crowned with 6 pointed crystal stars on a bronze lotus, and inside the stone shaft runs a steel tube which weighs a little more than 5 tons. The base of the column has text conceived by Lord Irwin and Sir Edwin Lutyens inscribed on it.
Welcome back. In more national news, Rahul Gandhi will formally take charge as the president of the Congress today. This will give the party a new president after 19 years. Rahul will receive a formal certificate of being elected the party president unopposed today, although the official announcement was made on Monday. The function to be held at the party headquarters in Delhi today will see around 700 invitees. Rahul Gandhi is likely to give his acceptance speech, and Sonia Gandhi is expected to make a farewell address as the outgoing party president.
The Congress party has a new president after 19 years. On Monday, the party announced Rahul Gandhi's name for the post after no other candidate filed a nomination.
As per Article 18D of the Constitution of International Congress, I hereby declare Sri Rahul Gandhi elected as the President of the International Congress. The handing over of certificate of election as Congress President is scheduled to be held on 16th December 2017.
Rahul Gandhi entered politics in 2004, winning a seat to the Lok Sabha from Amethi. He was later given the responsibility of managing the party's campaign in the 2012 assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh and the 2014 general elections.
For 19 years, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi has led the Congress, and she has led us to 2 election victories back to back. Mr. Gandhi now being the unanimous choice of lakhs of workers across India who have elected him as their Congress president, I think it's a matter of great joy. I think Mr. Gandhi has a lot of challenges ahead of him. But to my mind, every Congress president brings with him or her a vision of how the party should be, and through the party they want to work towards building a better India. And that's what Mr. Gandhi is intending to do. Mr. Gandhi has been one person who has endeared herself not just to the Congress party or the opposition parties, but almost the entire length and breadth of our country. She continues to and will be an active mentor, a guiding force to the Congress. I think her contributions will be remembered for a long time.
Rahul Gandhi has been the party's vice president since 2013. He was also in charge of the youth wing of the Congress for a long time. Rahul Gandhi is the 6th member of the Nehru-Gandhi family to take charge of the Congress. Prior to him, Motilal Nehru, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi have served in the post of president of the Grand Old Party. Rahul's mother, Sonia Gandhi, has been president since 1998. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Congress has said that it would file a fresh comprehensive petition on the Gujarat election. The Supreme Court on Friday refused to entertain its plea, seeking counting of at least 20% of the paper trail slips manually along with the votes cast in EVMs in each constituency. A bench of Chief Justice Deepak Mishra and Justices A.M. Khanwilkar and D.Y. Chandrachud permitted petitioner Mohammad Arif Rajput, a Gujarat Congress leader, to withdraw his plea but granted liberty to file a comprehensive petition later seeking election reforms. Congress spokesperson and senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi appeared for Rajput, saying that the counting of the slips of the VVPAT machines along with the votes cast in the electronic voting machines would reassure the people about the fairness of the polls. In more national news, a Delhi special CBI court will today pronounce the order of quantum of punishment against former Jharkhand Chief Minister Madhu Koda and ex-School Secretary H.C. Gupta in a coal scam case. The CBI has sought maximum punishment for them. CBI court has convicted Koda, Gupta, ex-Jharkhand Chief Secretary A.K. Basu, Koda's close aide Vijay Joshi and the company Vinny Iron and Steel Udyog Limited in a case pertaining to irregularities in the allocation of the Rajhara North coal block in Jharkhand to the Kolkata-based firm. Madhu Koda argued in the CBI court that he be given a less punishment as he has 2 minor daughters and several medical issues. The other 3 convicts also sought less punishment on the basis of medical issues. 5-day World Telugu Conference was inaugurated by Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in Hyderabad on Friday. Underlining the importance of the mother tongue, he said that children in schools should be taught in their respective mother tongues in order to make them aware of the importance of the language. The Vice President also lauded Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao for making Telugu compulsory up to class 12. Nearly 8,000 delegates and representatives have registered to attend the mega conference that will involve discussions and talks on Telugu literature and culture. Telangana and Andhra Pradesh Governor E.S.L. Narasimhan and Maharashtra Governor C. Vidyasagar Rao were among the guests of honour. On December 19th, President Ramnath Kovind would be the chief guest at the valedictory function.
తెలంగాణ శాసన సభాపతి శ్రీ మధుసూదనాచారి గారిని తెలంగాణ శాసన
నేను వాళ్ళని ఏమంటున్నా అంటే నువ్వు మాతృభాష ఎలాంటిదయ్యా అర్థమయ్యేట్టుగా చెప్పాడు ఒక ఆయన వాళ్ళకి అర్థమయ్యేది చెప్పేదాన్ని మాతృభాష నీకు కళ్ళ లాంటిది అమ్మ భాష కళ్ళ లాంటిది పరాయి భాష కళ్ళద్దాలు లాంటిది నీకు కళ్ళుంటే కళ్ళద్దాలు పనిచేస్తాయి నీ కళ్ళేరు ఎవరుకోండి నల్లద్దాలు పనిచేస్తాయి.
On to international news. In Pakistan, Supreme Court on Friday announced clearance of Pakistan's Tehreek-e-Insaf chief Imran Khan in a disqualification reference. Announcing the verdict on PMLN leader Hanif Abbasi's petition, the Supreme Court dismissed the plea to disqualify Imran Khan. Hanif Abbasi had filed a petition in November last year accusing PTI leaders Imran Khan and Jahangir Tareen of not declaring their assets to the Election Commission of Pakistan. European Union leaders have agreed to move Brexit talks on the second phase, but called for further clarity from the UK about the future relationship that it wants. The first issue to be discussed early next year will be the details of an expected two-year transition period after the UK's exit in March 2019. Talks on trade and security cooperation are set to follow in March. British Prime Minister Theresa May hailed it as an important step on the road, but Germany's Angela Merkel said that it would get even tougher. European Council President Donald Tusk said that the 27 EU leaders were happy to move on to the next phase after they met in Brussels. He congratulated Theresa May on reaching this stage and said that the EU would begin internal preparations for the next phase right now, as well as exploratory contracts with the UK to get more clarity on their vision. While securing a deal in time for the UK's exit in March 2019 was realistic, he suggested that the next phase would be more challenging and demanding. EU Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker said that he expected real negotiations on the next phase of Brexit talks to start in March next year.
This year in July, we didn't
make decisions. As for the framework for future relations, it is now time for internal EU27 preparations and exploratory contacts with the UK to get more clarity on their vision. On that basis, we should adopt guidelines and start negotiations next year. I trust that the unity on the EU side will continue.
An earthquake with a magnitude of 6.5 struck the island of Java in Indonesia, leaving at least one dead and damaging buildings. About 53 patients were evacuated from a hospital in Indonesia's Banyumas following the quake. Tremors were felt in central and west Java and caused minor damage to some buildings. According to Indonesia's National Disaster Management Agency, the quake activated early tsunami warning systems in the south of Java, but the warning was lifted.
Untuk sementara evakuasi, saya semuanya masih pada tidak konsentrasi karena masih ada guncangan-guncangan. Jadi sementara saya yang keluarga yang nunggu-nunggu itu ya keluarkan sendiri-sendiri. Belum ada petugas. Nah, sebentar.
And here more international news updates in World Wrap. In Yemen, Saudi-led airstrikes have killed 28 Houthi rebels south of the port of Hodeidah on the west coast. The security sources said that the airstrikes yesterday and today hit 5 towns controlled by the Houthis around 70 kilometers south of Hodeidah. Sources said that 28 Houthis were killed and 17 others were wounded in the strikes. The reports came as the UN refugee agency, UNHCR, warned of a new displacement of civilians in the area. Kamala Harris, the first Indian-American senator, has called for Donald Trump's resignation, becoming the 7th lawmaker to demand it amidst resurfaced allegations of sexual misconduct against the U.S. president. Harris has joined 6 other Democratic senators, Kirsten Gillibrand, Cory Booker, Bernie Sanders, Jeff Merkley, Mazie Hirono and Ron Wyden, who have called for Trump to resign. Austrian Conservative Party leader Sebastian Kurz reached a coalition deal with the Anti-Immigration Freedom Party, paving the way for Austria to become the only Western European country with a far-right party in government. Kurz said that the details of their agreement would be presented to the public on Saturday after a meeting with the president and discussion with their parties' leadership structures. And finally, in sports, ace Indian shuttler PV Sindhu has defeated world number 2 Akane Yamaguchi of Japan in the Dubai Super Series finals. Sindhu defeated Yamaguchi 21-9, 21-13 in just 36 minutes to top Group A in the women's singles. With the win, she stretched her winning streak to 3 matches in the tournament. Sindhu dominated the game from the very beginning as she took a 5-love lead over her Japanese rival in the first set. However, the second set started on an equal footing. At one stage, the score was 9-8, but Sindhu kept her composure and stretched the lead to 13-8 before finally clinching the set, 21-13. She will now next face China's Chen Yufei in the semi-final today. That's going to be quite a Saturday evening for all of us. That's it for the moment. Do join us at 1 p.m. for our midday news.